Welcome to Financial Independence Retire Early. This is the 44th episode, and we're still talking about BRICS. But this time we're going to zoom into India and Africa, India and South Africa, if you want to say. And I call these the superstars of the BRICS alliance. Look, I think it's really obvious. India is definitely the superstar of the BRICS alliance, and Africa is right on their mark. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. What I do is talk about my experience and my journey as I develop my investment thesis, and I hope that this is part of your research. So do your own research. This is not advice, but share with me in the comments your investment theory as we develop our investment theory, so we become financially independent, so that we can retire early. All right. So India and South Africa, the superstars of the BRICS alliance. India is an obvious superstar. India is a clear, obvious superstar, and yeah, South Africa is South Africa. But with that said, there is so much that we can learn from India, as Africa and as South Africa. Um, the fourth, I think the fourth biggest economy in the world right now, definitely, and such a highly intellectual, technical, and educated society. Just not only because they speak English, and we speak English too, but India, if you check the Fortune 500, there's so many executives from India. That means that, for the Indian country, yes, it's a brain drain. But for the rest of the world, India has exported so much intellectual, technical knowledge and capacity that has created so much value in the world, you know? And that just shows you the power of the education system, of the technical capacities that India is building as a country into its citizens. And that is definitely something that we can learn as South Africa. That is just first and foremost an obvious, easy, analytical, point to start as African and South Africa. We need to create a highly intellectual, highly educated, highly technically capable population who can help develop the country and also just be exported to the rest of the world, to develop the world and create value in the world. And next, I think we're about to enter. India has what like 7 to 10% growth constantly in the past 5 to 10 years. I think we can, for the next decade or two, we're not going to be speaking about the great elevation or alleviation of poverty in China, where they elevated, yes, so many people out of poverty. But we're going to be speaking about how India, and after that Africa, hopefully at the same time, are alleviating poverty for ultimately a billion plus people in the next decade or two. And I think that is definitely, can be led by India, and Africa can also take the lead in some points. But India, there's so much development in India within the country, so much great leadership, and so many lessons that we can learn. And even just following how India's development is done by poor people and is done in such an eco-friendly manner. I think India is one of the countries that is leading in like native, original, you know, organic, intellectually eco-friendly technologies. I think there's so much untapped potential in the organic, intellectual, native, Indian way of doing things and evolving, into creating products and services. I think there's a huge lesson, especially in, recycling, and waste upstreaming, and even in like aquaculture. I think there are so many lessons that we can learn as Africa, how to turn, deserts into oases, how to turn, how to use our waste to create energy and to create products in the upstream that can be reused. I think there's a great circular economy growing within India. There's a wonderful circular economy growing within India that Africa and even the rest of the world can learn from. And it's so organic, it's so intellectual, and it's rooted in just the basic day-to-day practices of ordinary Indian people, and they're turning their organically, cultural practices, and they're repackaging them into products and services for the world. And there's so much that we can learn from that as Africa, let alone, all of the cars, all of the, like I said, technical stuff that they're doing, not only in ICT but also in manufacturing. There's about 4 or 5 Indian car companies, that are manufactured in India and made in India, and all that skill, all that know-how, all the technical know-how and capacity can be exported into Africa. We can start by helping them make their Tatas and their Mahindras, and we can also evolve into making our own cars, our own Kantakas, and forget you, Ghana. We can definitely also make our own cars, and we can partner with India because we have the natural resources. All we need to do is learn how to beneficiate them and turn it into products, and then we can like own the entire value chain of our natural resources using India, China, Russia, Brazil. But today I'm focusing on India. So I think India and Africa are definitely the superstars of the BRICS um, alignment, if that's what I can call it. I mean, and not to forget that there's like a strong relationship between India and South Africa. The largest population of Indians outside of Africa. I mean, the largest Indian population outside of India, right?